Hey friends, I'm ready to do the blue group. If you are part of my third grade group, you're going to want to do this one. Here we go. This is called The Shoemaker by Audrey Carangelo. And remember, if you want to mute me because you want to read it yourself, that is fine. Long, long ago, there was a quiet village where all the people worked very hard. The village was near a rushing river whose sweet water helped the villagers grow their crops. But when autumn came one year, the harvest was quite sparse. Sparse. Using context clues, when autumn came one year, the harvest was quite sparse. And then the next sentence says insects had destroyed most of the wheat and corn. So if it's sparse, using those context clues, that means that there's very little of it, right? Good. All right, here we go. One day that autumn, a stranger walked into the village. Good day, the stranger said to a young boy chopping firewood. Can you tell me where the famous shoemaker lives? Oh, you must mean Nathaniel, answered the boy. He is known throughout the land for making the best shoes. I will take you to him. Excellent, young man, replied the stranger. I will reward you handsomely. The boy was overjoyed as the stranger handed him a small silver coin. It was a rare and valuable gift. The boy guided the stranger through the village until he reached Nathaniel's workshop. Nathaniel was bent over the table sewing leather shoes, occupying the same spot for as long as anyone could remember. Greetings, Nathaniel, called out the boy. Greetings to you, Ben, Nathaniel answered. Nathaniel put down his sewing. He was an old elder in the village, and he was very wise and kind. Hello, visitor, he said, extending his worn old hand in friendship. I am Nathaniel, the village shoemaker. The stranger shook Nathaniel's hand, returning the greeting. I am Clifford Baldwin, and I have heard of your exceptional shoemaking skills. Clifford Baldwin? Asked Nathaniel. I have heard of you as well. You are the most prosperous man in the country. You have a great fortune to call your own. Again, using context clues, prosperous must mean, yes, it is very successful. Successful, makes money, and you can tell by those sentences where it says you have a great fortune. Your shoes are known to be the finest in the land, said Clifford. See for yourself, answered Nathaniel, handing the man a pair of shoes to examine. These are excellent shoes, exclaimed Clifford. The leather is so soft, the stitching is so fine, and the buckle is so beautiful. Thank you, said Nathaniel. I have learned to make these shoes from my father, and he learned from his father before him. Back and back, for many generations, we have been content to make shoes for as long as we can remember. I must have these shoes, said Clifford Baldwin. I will give you 80 sacks of corn if you can make me 20 pairs of shoes. But you must have them ready in 2 days. Only then I will give you the corn. Nathaniel had never made that many shoes that quickly, but he knew the villagers needed the extra food. Nathaniel made his decision. I am happy to serve you, Mr. Baldwin. I will make you 20 pairs of shoes in 2 days, he said. In truth, Nathaniel couldn't imagine how he would ever complete this impossible task. Nathaniel set out at once to make the shoes. He worked all day and into the night, and finally he finished measuring and cutting the leather he needed. Nathaniel still had all the sewing to do, and he knew that in all his life he had never made more than 3 pairs of shoes in a day. He sat down to gather his strength. He did not know how he would sew all the shoes that Clifford Baldwin demanded. He only knew that his village desperately needed the corn he would receive in payment. Nathaniel's eyes grew heavy and he went to bed. Soon he was fast asleep and dreaming. He dreamed that he had 20 more hands to get the task done. Wouldn't that be nice if we could just dream them into existence? At the sound of Nathaniel's gentle snoring, suddenly a whole group of elves scampered out from their hiding places, concealed deep in the woods. They were sprightly, tiny people who were surrounded by a bright and glimmering yellow light. The elves went to Nathaniel's work table and took up needles, measured out thread, gathered up leather, and they began to sew. The elves sewed and sewed. They moved so quickly their hands looked like birds' wings. Ooh, a simile. The elves finished the shoes in no time. They lined them up neatly across Nathaniel's work table, and then they skipped merrily back into the woods. They laughed and giggled at the great surprise they had left the kind old man. The sharp light of late morning hit Nathaniel's eyelids, causing them to open with a start. "Oh no," he cried out loud. "I have been asleep all night dreaming about elves. I will never complete the shoes. We will never see Clifford Baldwin's corn." Just then, Nathaniel saw the completed shoes lined across his table, and his heart filled with joy. He knew at once who had saved him. "Thank you, elves," exclaimed Nathaniel. "You made my dream of 20 extra hands come true. You have helped our village survive the winter." It's a very selfless thing to try to put the others in front of him. He wasn't sure he would be able to do it, but he had to at least try because he cared about something bigger than just himself. Grab your paper.